What if I told you that right now, as we speak, there are cities being built that could completely change how we live? Cities that float on water, stretch across entire deserts, and exist underground to survive nuclear war. Some of these projects are revolutionary masterpieces that will reshape our future, while others might be nothing more than expensive fantasies destined to crumble before they're even finished. Today we're diving deep into 13 futuristic cities that are currently under construction around the world. But here's the twist. Not all of these ambitious projects will actually see the light of day. Some are backed by billions of dollars and cutting-edge technology, while others are already showing signs of being elaborate schemes or impossible dreams. By the end of this video, you'll know which cities represent humanity's future and which ones are destined to become cautionary tales of failed ambition. Let's start with what might be the most audacious urban project ever conceived. In Saudi Arabia, construction crews are working on something called the Line, and it's exactly what it sounds like. This isn't a traditional city with neighborhoods and districts. Instead, it's a single structure stretching 170 kilometers across the desert, standing 500 meters tall and 200 meters wide. Imagine a building so massive that 9 million people could live inside it, with high-speed rail connecting one end to the other in just 20 minutes. The vision is incredible. No cars, no streets, perfect climate control throughout, and zero carbon emissions. It's part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan to transform their economy beyond oil. But here's where it gets interesting. Many urban planning experts are calling this project dystopian rather than utopian. The idea of confining millions of people within a single linear structure raises serious questions about freedom of movement and quality of life. Now let's travel to the opposite end of the spectrum. Floating cities designed to rise with sea levels. The Maldives, a chain of islands in the Indian Ocean, faces a terrifying reality. Most of their land sits less than 1 meter above sea level, and scientists predict the entire nation could be underwater by 2100. Their solution? Build a floating city with 5,000 homes anchored to a lagoon floor, connected by canals like a modern Venice. Each floating house costs between $150,000 and $200,000, making this an upscale solution to an existential crisis. But what makes this project fascinating is its environmental design. Artificial coral banks attached to the undersides of buildings will actually stimulate coral growth while protecting against ocean waves. It's scheduled for completion by 2027, and if successful, it could become a template for other nations facing rising seas. Speaking of floating cities, the United Nations is backing an even more ambitious project off the coast of South Korea. This $627 million floating metropolis near Busan is designed to house 12,000 people across 3 interconnected platforms. One platform for housing, another for schools and theaters, and a third for research and development. The entire structure is engineered to withstand 100-year storms and rise automatically with sea levels. What sets this project apart is its sustainability features. Buildings are capped at 5 stories using lightweight materials like bamboo and timber. Residents travel by bike or foot instead of cars. The city generates its own power through solar panels, filters its own fresh water, and even includes fishing cages for food production. If this model works, it could be replicated in coastal areas worldwide. But not every futuristic city project is destined for success. Let's talk about what might be the most controversial entry on our list: Akon City in Senegal. Yes, that Akon, the musician. Back in 2015, he announced plans for a $6 billion cryptocurrency-powered city that would be like a real-life Wakanda. The renderings looked incredible, twisting skyscrapers, universities, hospitals, and resorts all powered by his own digital currency. The first stone was ceremoniously laid in 2020, but here's the problem. That stone is still sitting alone in an empty dirt field. The project's promotional placard has literally fallen over. Urban development experts are calling this a textbook example of a fraudulent scheme similar to pyramid scams. It's a harsh reminder that not every ambitious vision has the substance to become reality. On the other hand, some projects that sound impossible are actually making remarkable progress. Deep beneath Helsinki, Finland has constructed a 9 million square meter underground city capable of housing 900,000 people. This isn't science fiction. It's a real bunker system designed to protect against potential Russian aggression. Located 30 meters underground, it's strong enough to withstand nuclear attacks and represents decades of careful preparation by Finnish authorities. China is taking a different approach to future cities with their Belt and Road Initiative. In southeastern Kazakhstan, near the Chinese border, they're building Nur-Kent to accommodate 100,000 workers. This city represents China's strategy of creating economic hubs across Central Asia, with Chinese companies owning significant portions of the development. However, China's recent financial struggles raise questions about whether projects like this can be sustained long-term. Indonesia faces its own urban crisis as Jakarta sinks at an alarming rate due to groundwater extraction. Some areas have dropped 2.5 meters in just 10 years, with predictions that parts of the city could be completely submerged by 2050. Their solution is radical. Build an entirely new capital city called Nusantara at a cost of $32.4 billion. Construction began in 2022. If successful, it will feature towering skyscrapers designed to surpass Jakarta in both size and functionality. Africa is seeing its own wave of futuristic urban development. In Nigeria, Eco-Atlantic City is being built on land reclaimed from the Atlantic Ocean, using massive seawalls for protection. This Manhattan-sized development promises to be completely self-sufficient with its own power generation, water treatment, and telecommunications. However, local communities are reporting serious coastal erosion caused by the construction, highlighting the environmental challenges these projects can create. Egypt's new administrative capital represents one of the most expensive urban projects in Africa at $59 billion. Designed to house 6.5 million people, it includes government buildings, embassies, and green spaces twice the size of New York's Central Park. But here's the concerning part. 51% of the project is owned by the military, raising questions about transparency and whether Egypt can actually afford this massive undertaking given its struggling economy. In the West Bank, despite ongoing political tensions, construction continues on Rawabi, a $1.4 billion planned city. American-Palestinian billionaire Bashar al-Masri designed it as an economic stimulus for the region, with 6,000 housing units across 22 communities. However, its proximity to Jerusalem and restrictions on Palestinian movement mean that 70% of current residents are Arab Israelis rather than local Palestinians, creating controversy about who this development actually serves. Some projects blur the line between urban development and religious accommodation. Saudi Arabia's Mina Tent City transforms the annual Hajj pilgrimage experience by providing modern accommodations for up to 1 million visitors. These aren't ordinary tents. They're air-conditioned structures with electrical outlets, communal facilities, and emergency systems. Prices range from $2,700 to $3,900, representing Saudi Arabia's effort to modernize religious tourism while generating significant revenue. China continues to push boundaries with Xiong'an, a planned city larger than New York that's considered President Xi Jinping's personal project. Unlike previous Chinese developments built near existing urban centers, this one sits in what's essentially the middle of nowhere. The plan calls for transplanting people and businesses from Beijing, whether they want to move or not. With China's real estate market struggling, the future of this ambitious project remains uncertain. Finally, we have projects that represent genuine innovation in sustainable urban living. China's Liuzhou Forest City aims to be as close to carbon neutral as possible by covering every building with plants and trees. One building housing 500 people has already been completed, with plans to expand into a full city supporting 30,000 residents alongside 40,000 trees and over 1 million plants from more than 100 species. What makes these futuristic cities so fascinating isn't just their ambitious designs or cutting-edge technology. It's what they reveal about our hopes and fears for the future. Some represent genuine solutions to climate change, overpopulation, and urban decay. Others seem driven more by political ambition or financial speculation than practical need. The cities that will succeed are those that solve real problems while remaining financially viable and environmentally sustainable. The ones that will fail are those built on unrealistic foundations, whether that's impossible engineering, insufficient funding, or lack of genuine demand. As we watch these projects develop over the coming decades, we're essentially witnessing a global experiment in how humanity will adapt to the challenges of the 21st century. Some will become models for future development, while others will serve as expensive lessons in what not to do. Which of these cities do you think will actually succeed? Are we looking at the future of human civilization, or just expensive dreams built on shifting sand? The next decade will give us our answers, and the results will shape how we think about urban development for generations to come.